Kinga, siódmej. In the big city. Where do you want to go today? Asks Clank. Tell him, children, says Grandpa. To the big city, says Ben. Rosie and Max. Clank types some numbers on the van's computer. Let's go, he says. When the van stops, it's in a big city. There are lots of cars and buses and taxis. Wow, look at the tall buildings, says Rosie. Ben has a good book. Come on, he says. Some people on the street are pointing at Clank. Is that a robot? Asks a woman with a camera. It's not easy to have a robot in the big city, says Grandpa. Clank, please, can you wait in the van, please? After Grandpa and the children go, Clank sits in the van. He closes his eyes so he doesn't see the two men at the windows. Clank is listening to the radio. He doesn't hear the doors when they open. I like this van, says one of the men. Let's steal it. The children like the big city. Ben sees a building. That's the tallest building in the city, he says. We can go to the top and look at the city. Let's go, says Rosie. When they are at the top of the building, they can see lots of the city. Look at the cars, says Rosie. Look there, says Max. I can see Grandpa's van, and it's moving. Where? Asks Grandpa. Grandpa can see the van. This is a big city, Max, he says. There are lots of red and white vans here. He looks at his watch. It's time for us to go home. Come on, we can take a taxi to the van. Max is right about the van. It is moving, but Clank doesn't know it. He's listening to the radio. His eyes aren't open. At the front of the van, one of the thieves sees the computer. What's this? He asks. The thief hits the computer with his finger. Then, we're in the sky, he shouts. Hit that computer again, says his friend. Quick! There are some lights in the front of the van, and then, now we're on a mountain. The thief hits the computer again and again. Where are we now? He asks. We're in a river, shouts his friend. No, we're in a game of soccer. Now we're on the moon. Help! In the city, Grandpa and the children get out of their taxi. We're here, says Grandpa. But where's the van? Speak to Clank on your cell phone, Grandpa, says Ben. Good idea, says Grandpa, and he takes out his cell phone. Clank doesn't hear the cell phone, but he can feel it. He opens his eyes and sees the two thieves. Who are you? He asks. There's no time for an answer. A big train is coming at the van. Help! Shout the thieves. They close their eyes. Clank jumps up fast and goes to the computer. There are more lights, and then the van is in the city again. Slowly, one of the thieves opens an eye. Where's the train? He asks. His friend opened his eyes and sees Clank. A robot! He shouts. The two men jump out of the van and run. I don't want to steal a van ever again, they shout. That's good, says a woman in blue clothes. A police officer! Clank drives the van to the right street. Grandpa and the children are waiting for him there. Clank stops the van and opens the door. Where were you, Clank? Grandpa asks. Were you at the store? No, says Clank. I wasn't at the store. Were you in the park? Asks Rosie. I was on a mountain, says Clank. Then I was in a river. Then I was on the moon. What? Says Max. Clank tells them about his busy afternoon in the van. Thank you very much for listening.